Well, for me, success is, I guess, coming in every day and enjoying what I do. I mean, it sounds pretty simple, but there's so many people out there who kind of hate their jobs or are wedded to them, and people sort of ask what I'm most proud of, and I guess for me, it's having enjoying coming to work every day. Warren Buffett calls it tap dancing to work every day. I think it's a good phrase, and the other part is creating an environment where everyone who works with you can enjoy coming to work as well. So I remember when we first started out, we'd go to lunch with our friends who worked at other companies, and they were always sort of complaining about what was going on, or the politics of the company, or they couldn't get stuff done. And I always remember thinking I hope that never ever happens at our work, because people at our work enjoy coming to work every day, and they get plenty of latitude, and they plenty of opportunity. So for me, I guess the two things are enjoying myself and making a workplace that other people can enjoy coming into. I mean, the key challenge, we faced in the early days is sort of, working out exactly what we wanted to do. So we actually started off doing some consulting, and we did some support and a few different things before we eventually settled on building products and building our first product, Jira. So I guess for us, we knew that there was, change in the software industry, that you could build software, faster using open source components, and you could sell software over the internet, and you could advertise on Google, and so a lot of things came together, and we, recognized those trends and then sort of made a bet on a business. But I guess the early stages, we didn't necessarily start Atlassian knowing what we wanted to do. We started Atlassian really wanted to create a great place to work and have fun, of which, a lot of people forget when they start a business. There's a guy named Derek Sivers who created a business called CD Baby, and he talks about starting a business being the place you get to create your own utopia, where you get to create your own rules around business, and so I guess that's what we tried to do. So our starting growth was really small because basically, we didn't raise any money. We couldn't raise any money. We were, 22 years old, just out of university, having never run a business before, and, in an area that no one would have invested in. So, we had no choice. And I think our starting budget would have been whatever we could put on our credit card. So, sort of maybe $5,000, $10,000. And really that was, to buy a domain name, to buy computers, those types of things. So it wasn't that expensive to start off. And I think that's one of the advantages of a software business, is that you don't have to have lots of capital to get started, compared to, say, a manufacturing business or other things. You can, literally get started in your garage. But in terms of sort of the cycles we got into, we used to run a sort of project management technique. I don't even know where we stole it from. We used to run sort of week, month, quarter, and basically on one A4 piece of paper, you'd carve it up into 3 sections, and you'd say, well, what do we need to get done this quarter? And then you'd work back and say, okay, well, to achieve that, then, what do I need to do this month? And then to achieve that, what do I need to do this week? And so basically, having that piece of paper on your desk that you rewrote every week gave us a pretty clear outcome, sort of guideline of, what we needed to get done. So we found that was kind of really useful in the early days, when sort of self-project managers, 2 people, allowed us to, focus on the important things. I mean, we track sort of probably the same metrics that most businesses, revenue, profit, sales, customers, geographic location. We have pretty extensive internal systems that all of our staff can access. So any staff member, from, our receptionist through to, our CFO, kind of can all access the same data around our products. And so that means we have because of that sort of open nature of things, we have a very analytics driven business. And so, everyone can sort of say, okay, well, how does my area or, part contribute to the whole? And I think that helps with our staff engagement, and probably is more of a Gen Y culture than a lot of companies, that sort of open sharing nature. And metric we do measure that I guess a lot of people wouldn't is Net Promoter Score. And the idea behind the Net Promoter Score is it's kind of a measure of customer engagement. Okay. It's Net Promoter is basically how many people are actively promoting your company. So the people that think you're okay don't count, and basically you count the people that rave about you, and you subtract the people that are detractors, and you end up with a Net Promoter Score. And we've met that now for probably 3 or 4 years, actually probably more than that now, and we can sort of track how happy our customers are over time. Yeah, we don't have any salespeople, so what we do is we, people come to our website and they download our product, because they have a problem, or they've, heard about us through word of mouth, or used our products at a previous employer. There's a lot of reasons, people, I guess, hear about us. And then what we do is try and make it as easy as possible for people to consume the product. So, to get started, to evaluate, and then really the product speaks for itself. So, I guess our business model is, we're product people, Mike and myself. We guess what we want to spend all day is making awesome products, and so we've sort of crafted a business model that means great products get rewarded. And I think you'll increasingly see, it started off with consumer products now. You see, I guess Apple's probably the best example of it, but there's dozens of others examples where consumer products are now sort of on the basis of how good they are rather than how they're sold or the marketing that goes around them. Because people ask their friends, and social networking and a whole bunch of other reasons mean that the product becomes to the forefront rather than the brand or anything else. And we're seeing that in enterprises as well now, is that with the sort of same tools, people are making decisions around purchasing decisions at different levels of the companies now. Previously, for a time, it was only sort of the CIO who made decisions around software. Now it could be people that have just joined a company and are decision makers. And so I think in that scenario, the quality of the product becomes more important.